back to Vera's View, where each week I come at you with my wins and fails for both Raw and SmackDown. We're going to start off with Raw as usual with my fails. The first one being the Cruiserweights getting two 4-way matches to determine who's going to face off for number one contendership to the Cruiserweight Championship. Kurt Angle says, I got to get you guys back on track over these next couple weeks. I may have let things get a little out of hand amongst the Cruiserweights while I was busy dealing with Stephanie and Triple H. But don't feel bad about it, Kurt, because I do my best each week to try and forget about them. Speaking of Kurt Angle, his bastard son, Jason Jordan, is my next fail because, my God, this kid gets an insane amount of television time. It's just sickening at this point. This week, he faced off against Kane, got himself counted out early, which is a little silver lining, because then we got to see Finn Balor face off against the Big Red Machine, but Kane decided to get himself DQ with a little chair action. Then Braun Strowman came out, so it was total chaos, and these monsters are just going at each other. It is insane. I can't wait to see what they're going to do next, because each week it seems to just escalate more and more. Moving over to my wins column, the first one kind of has nothing to do with Raw at all. Well, it was a commercial for Cyber Monday. The Good Brothers did it, and it was just hilarious. I was cracking up the time about Sasha Banks' glasses, and Luke Gallows puts them on, they kind of fall off his face. Like, oh, they're so cool, can't even keep them on my face. Like, whatever he said, I don't know, it was hilarious. I was just chuckling the whole time, so just check it out if you can. Samoa Joe looking absolutely dominant was a big win for me this week. He took out Titus and Apollo early on. Then later, after Roman Reigns defeated Elias Samson to retain his Intercontinental Championship, Samoa Joe decided to take him out too. It was Samoan versus Samoan, and he was a savage. I'm hoping this means he's working his way back up to facing Brock Lesnar once again for the Universal Championship, because I just think that Brock and Samoa Joe are money facing off against each other. Mickie James and Bayley and Sasha were supposed to face off against Paige, Mandy Rose, and Sonya. But, yeah, that didn't happen. Sasha came out, her music played, then when Bayley's music hit, no Bayley. When Mickie's music hit, no Mickie. Here comes Paige with her girl gang. They show some video footage of the two opponents looking a little injured backstage. She's like, I had to do what I had to do. I need to remind everyone that I single-handedly erased the word diva from WWE. That I'm the matriarch of the women's revolution, and you need to remember exactly who I am. She calls her little group Absolution. They invite Sasha Banks to join them, but she's having none of it and gets herself quite the beatdown for saying no. Broken Matt Hardy is a win for me this week because it is definitely happening. They have been teasing it little by little since Jeff got injured, but this week there's no denying it. He's in the corner after losing to Bray Wyatt, just chanting delete to himself over and over again. Speaking of, Bray Wyatt getting a victory is definitely a win for me. I love Bray Wyatt. He's been, on a downward spin as of late, so maybe he's kind of, going to rise way back up. He had a cool promo, too, about everyone being dead, which sounds weird, but check it out. I kind of like that, too. And last but not least, Asuka defeating Dana Brooke, and what had to be record time was a win for me this week. Like, she is just absolutely the most talented woman they probably ever had. Like, I'm obsessed with her. Moving over to SmackDown Live, my first fail is the Bludgeon Brothers, because I'm not feeling this whole Wyatt family with Thor hammers gimmick. Like, no, sorry, it's not for me. Jinder Mahal attacking the Singh brothers was a fail for me. I understand the whole frustration angle, but you know what? Like, if this is the end of them as a team, I'm a little disappointed, because I feel like the Singh brothers round him out. He's kind of boring without them. They give him that little extra oomph. But it's probably not the end of them, but I'm just saying, like, don't. Riot Squad is a fail for me this week. It's my last fail. Nothing to do with Ruby Riott and the rest of the girls, but it's just too similar. It's the exact same thing they did on Raw, except they don't have Paige. They just have each other. And I'm all about this whole, like, NXT invasion kind of thing the girls are doing, but stop doing the same thing on both shows. It's weird. My first win is Shane McMahon imitating Sami Zayn's little entrance dance. I got a chuckle out of that. He was making fun of him while banning him from ringside for Kevin Owens' match versus Randy Orton. More about that in a minute. The New Day bringing pancakes to the Usos on commentary, and I guess the rest of the commentary team, because they were definitely sharing with Byron Saxton, but yeah. What the heck? Pancakes? Like, where did this come from? Why? But bring me some pancakes, because I'm starving at this point. Mojo Rawley turning on Zack Ryder was a big win for me this week. I like the Hype Bros of the team, but I like Mojo Rawley better. He had quite a good little push going after WrestleMania, and it kind of went to a halt when Zack Ryder returned, and yeah, it's upsetting to me. But maybe he's going to do better for himself solo this time around, and he is going to be a bad guy, which, in this day and age, we all like a cool heel, Riot Squad face off against Naomi, Charlotte, and briefly Natalya. Natalya pieces out early. She's like, I want nothing to do with any of you. I love her. I'm better than everyone attitude. Yeah, love Natalya as a heel. But Liv Morgan is probably my favorite of this new group. I've been watching her in NXT, and she has got this, like, spunk that I like. It reminds me of, like, I don't know, like, the Brian Kendrick when he was, like, Spanky. I don't know, I'm just all about her. But she's bad now, so who knows. Anyway, like, backstage earlier on, Ruby Riott calls her little firecracker, and she's like, yeah, I'm about to pop off like the 4th of July. And I just ate that up with a little spoon. They definitely did pop off when her and Sarah Logan, took out Naomi with the stairs, and Naomi got carted off in a stretcher, so good work, ladies, on the damage, I guess. Fashion Files, of course, is a win for me, as it always is. This week, they did a Saw episode. Anyone who knows me knows I'm a huge horror fan. Like, we got Freddy Krueger kicking it behind me right now. And Ascension talks about how they sacrifice themselves for their best friends, and Breezangle's like, we're not friends. And I love that whole dynamic that they keep doing with them. The whole, like, we're friends, we're not friends. It's just, I don't know. That sounds stupid. Whatever. It's funny. And Kevin Owens getting a major victory over Randy Orton is a huge win for me this week, because they've been kind of talking about them being in the doghouse, but love seeing him on top of SmackDown Live. Like, he is probably, like, one of the most talented guys on either roster, so I'm all about him being on top of the show. And I like this whole storyline they're doing with Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon fighting over firing them or not, and they make some good points about them just going to Raw. But Sami Zayn did involve himself in this match, and he was banned from ringside, so I'm excited to see what repercussions they face next week. Check back with me to see what happened, what I liked, what I didn't like. I'm Vera, and this has been Vera's View for the WWFU Internetwork.